Hey YouTube, welcome back to another, day. I think today's actually December 1st, 2021. So I would go outside, but them birds, they're chirping like really, really loud. Both of my cats are at the door looking like, I guess they're in the bushes. But anyways, so let's talk about, something that is not commonly talked about. And when I say not commonly, I mean as far as like, there's always been that narrative of women trapping men with a baby, right? And we never hear about a man purposely trying to trap a woman with a child so that he can remain emotionally attached and always have, opportunities to be in this woman's life. He wants an attachment, and a lifelong attachment, such as a child, is the door to, him being able to basically, I'm going to say, abuse her, whether it be emotionally, financially, physically, spiritually, mentally, you know what I'm saying? As you guys have known from previous videos, domestic violence is more than just like physical abuse. It is definitely emotional, psychological, spiritual, financial. I said physical, emotional, mental, financial, spiritual. Yeah, I think I named all of them. But yeah, it's just basically more than physical, like black eyes, bruises, broken bones, shit like that. And a lot of people, you can't see the scars on a person's mind or their heart or their spirit. Those are invisible scars, but the scars are there. They're there, I've actually come to the conclusion that everybody in the world is fucked up. Everybody in the world has issues. I just know that me, as a millennial, I am all about the healing process. Especially when I've come to learn myself, who I am, and a lot of things started to fall away. Let me break something down to you guys. Resistance is the biggest thing that stands in a person's way. And what I mean by that is, like, I'm going to give you an example from my life. Because I had a conversation with my friend about this the other night, so I thought it was a good topic to just talk about. So, basically, my mom's a narcissist, and she would always yell, be angry. If every time I'd be laughing and smiling, just genuinely happy, she just had to come along and start bullshitting and steal my joy, right? By trying to make me angry because she was angry, or trying to make me sad because she's sad, or whatever the case may be. And so I was like, okay. So I noticed that I would act like her. I would yell, I would curse, I'm talking about like my exes out and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my God, I act so much like my mom. And I would keep on wanting to be like, I don't want to be like my mom. I don't want to be like my mom. I don't want to be like my mom. But the more I purposely tried not to be like her, the more like her I was starting to kind of act like. So I just fell into a place of non-resistance where, like, damn, you know what? This is just who I am. It doesn't mean that I didn't know that I had things to work on. I did. But also, I had to come to a place of non-resistance. I do share half of her DNA. So, I mean, I can want to not be like her all I want, but she does live in me. A part of her is in me. So, once I accepted that, then that's when I was able to make changes within myself. I had to come into self-acceptance that you say you don't want to be anything like her, but half of her DNA runs through your very existence. It's impossible to not be like her. I have her eyes, you know what I'm saying? I really can't say I have anything else like physical features of hers. I think the reason why she has so much resentment and hatred towards me is because I actually look so much like my dad, my siblings on my dad's side, and I act just like my daddy. So I never got the opportunity to know him like I wanted, but I act like this man. This man's DNA is in me. I could never figure out why I love sports cars, motorcycles, and I like cats and certain things. That's because those are things that my daddy loved, and because he is in me, those are things that I like too, naturally. Along with his side of the family being truck drivers. Boom, that's how I ended up being a truck driver. But I did not know any of that. But it's just crazy. Everything always comes full circle when you pay attention to the things going on in your life. The universe brings everything full circle, straight up. And but the whole point of this was just basically you got to get into a place of non-resistance in order to change things. Change certain patterns and stuff like that. I don't know why Siri's always recording my voice. Shut up. But yeah, so basically, I wanted to get into the topic of like where, there's always been this narrative of men purposely getting women pregnant, women purposely getting pregnant by men, and then they want to label that woman as a gold digger. Oh, she purposely got pregnant. I wanted her to get an abortion, or I wanted her to, you know what I'm saying? When in actuality, in the secrecy, behind closed doors, that man purposely got that woman pregnant so that he could always remain attached to her. The narrative he proclaims in public to family, friends, or whoever is, oh, well, I never wanted her to have my baby and, this and that. But all along, that was your secret plan in order to stay attached to that woman because you know that she's a strong woman. And this is one thing about narcissists. Fellas, this goes for you too. Narcissists don't target weak people. Toxic people are everywhere, but narcissists and sociopaths and shit, they purposely target strong individuals who are confident in themselves, love themselves, take care of themselves, got it going on. Their goal is to come into your life, fuck it up, drain you of your finances, resources, basically to mine you. Essentially, that's how it is, right? But it's always the woman's fault. Oh, well, why is it always up to the woman to have to deal with birth control, condoms, and this and that? There's men out there who will purposely poke holes in the condom, hoping to get the woman pregnant. You know what I'm saying? There's guys who they've been pulling out all this time, but they've been secretly calculating her ovulation schedule. And when they think that it's close to that time, it's like, oh, well, I'm going to nut in her. You know what I'm saying? There are men who will try to keep an emotional tie or a tie to a woman by having kids. They don't want the goddamn kid. They just want that woman they just want to be able to break that woman down even further. Because now you're using the children as pawns. Now, because the average woman is going to want to try to work things out, create the family because she wants stability for herself and definitely for her child. She wants that child to have that father in her life. So then these motherfuckers go and act a plum fool and purposely don't want to be in the kids' lives, or they are, but they're a horrible fucking influence. Horrible, 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 And so, it's just like, man, really? But this is real life situations, Stop scratching on my couch. Get down. Sitting over here doing stuff. I'm recording. Stop doing stuff. because you want attention. Yeah, so men, they are out there. They will trap a woman with a baby. And then some of them will think, or, belittle the woman even further. They think like, oh, well, ain't nobody gonna want you because you're pregnant. Who would want a single mom? Who would, they do things like that to kill her self-confidence, to kill her self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? And then because she wants to genuinely work it out or whatever, now it's like, chick, I don't respect you. Respect you? Please. Like, it's just a way to abuse her. And all I can say is, I am so thankful that I don't have any kids, because one, either they would be traumatized due to my trauma that I'm working through and the healing is taking time, or, they could have had a horrible fucking father. Like, my thing is this: if I'm healing myself, okay, if I had a child and I did all the healing, all the generational curse breaking and everything like that, they're healed as far as their mother's lineage. But what about their father's lineage? If he's still creating curses and all of that, that's still going to be a burden on my child's head, because they have to take on those demons and those burdens that the father chose not to take on himself. And I worry about that. I'd be like, man, I'm doing all this hard work, to break the cycles, the toxic cycles, the bad behaviors and stuff like that. That is like, this guy, have you taken the same steps to heal yourself? Because I don't want my child to be traumatized or fucked up on a genetic level, because of your half of DNA. And that's just facts to me. But, yeah, man, like, stuff is real. Real life situations is really deep. So, ladies, protect yourself. Men, I would say protect yourself too, because there are female narcissists and, sociopaths out there. Like, all I could say is, just be careful. I'm not saying be hyper vigilant or be super overly cautious, and it's hard to not be hyper vigilant, you guys, especially if you've been through narcissistic abuse, being raised by a narcissistic parent or parents. I mean, people who are survivors of narcissistic abuse, man, look, it's a struggle to fight through codependency. It's a struggle to fight through your traumas, your childhood trauma. You go through literally all the stages of depression, grief, anger, sadness, bargaining, and then you finally get to acceptance. Like, you oscillate between those different levels. I know I did. When I was listening to all these other narc survivor YouTube videos on what I went through, and I was like, that's why my mom did that. That's why my mom treated me this way. That's why this happened. Because I always had the question in my mind, why? And when I discovered, like, oh my God, you're so cruel, you're so evil, you're so this. How could you, how? And I don't know if my dad was possibly a narcissist or not, but he was definitely a serial cheater, because he cheated on his wife their entire marriage. That's how I became born. He cheated on his wife in a long-term relationship, and boom, you got a baby on the side. And then it's crazy, because as I went through, this is what I mean by generational curses, y'all. On my mom's side, my granddaddy, he had about 3-4 families. And with each woman, he had multiple kids. And that's why every time I go back home, I'm meeting a new cousin that I didn't know. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? Who's your parents? Who's your grandparents? Who's your great-great-grandparents? And when it leads up to my granddaddy, I'd be like, I be want to look up like, granddaddy, you a ho-ho. You the hoe of, you were the king of hoes. But I mean, I can't be mad because that was like, say, the programming of the elders back in the day. They were extremely fucked up, y'all. They were extremely fucked up. And then I feel like the reason why my mom is a narcissist the way that she is because like my grandmother, my great grandmother, how they may have raised, talked to her, treated her, she thought it was okay to do for me. You know, now that they're dead and gone, the farthest my lineage goes back is to my mother. But when she dies, I'm top dog. You know what I'm saying? What's that word? I will be big mama. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to me to do all of the healing work that I can do. And it's an everyday process, learning little by little about yourself, who you are. You got to know your boundaries. And if you don't know what your boundaries are, create boundaries. You know, I was talking to my friend the other day about this. You know, I have to create boundaries. And in creating those boundaries, I'm protecting myself. I'm honoring myself. I am respecting myself because those boundaries are keeping people from walking all over me. You know, that's that codependency thing. If I say no, my no means no. I don't give a fuck if you're mad. I don't give a damn. Whatever. Don't care. But then, like, man, on my dad's side, my granddaddy on his side was also the same way as my granddaddy on my mama's side. I was just like, because I met my auntie and my cousins on my daddy's side for Thanksgiving, which was so amazing because I get to learn about him. I get to know them, everything like that. So it's pretty cool, you know? And in doing that, that's like healing abandonment wounds, rejection wounds, father wounds, you know what I'm saying? Because even though he's dead, I'm still learning him through the memories and the eyes and the perceptions of other people who know him. Because everybody says the same thing. You look just like your daddy. You act just like your daddy. And you know what? I don't take it as a bad thing because I know that I would rather be acting more like my dad than my mom because I know for sure my mom is a narc. But anyways, y'all, I just wanted to talk about that because that's just an interesting topic, like how people just go with this societal narrative that women are gold diggers. Oh, she got pregnant. Oh, she's a baby. Why, you know, she's a baby mama. She's a single mother. All these like stigmas on the woman. But little do you know that man secretly wanted her pregnant. Secretly wanted to make her a baby mama, a single mother, to make her life hard, to emotionally abuse her, because these abusers, they will use children as pawns to hurt that other parent. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter whether you're a father and the mother does it. It doesn't matter if you're the mother and the father does it. This stuff is serious and it is deeply rooted. And it is time that we change the narrative. It is time for us to say fuck society and all the bullshit because clearly the shit doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Because if it worked, why is everybody fucked up? I'm just saying. All right. Well, like, share, subscribe. I will see y'all on the next episode.